That
There we go.
you know what? Between us not being consistent and me not knowing how to use my superpower of reading, we suck. God. We just got into like a 7-minute conversation on this topic. And I just was like, oh my God, we are not live. This because I was trying to figure out where all the comments were. I suck. I'm going to bed with a bottle of wine. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm done. I'm done. I'm over it. And I'm not over it. But oh my God.
So
So welcome to
speaking of wine,
shenanigans, because that's exactly what's happened tonight so far. Oh,
go get a bottle of wine.
hey, you know what? At this rate, Katie's on time for once, so there's that positive.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tara.
I can't believe I did that. Oh my God. Oh, hello, True Crime Unleashed. We haven't seen you in a while, and I know I've seen you in here a few times. All right, well, let's start over. I'm Tara Parker. This is Shenanigans. This is an unapologetic, very open forum about all about women, talking about women issues. We talk about the things women are not supposed to talk about. We talk about the things that even women are ashamed to talk about. Again, I'm Tara. Amber is the one. If she's on screen, she's in the middle. Hopefully, she's in the
Yep,
pink
I can
red
see
shirt.
myself.
And there's everybody's favorite Katie. She's our little blonde Indian lady running around saving the wildlife. And that sounded I did a way better monologue on you the first time. There's my bottle of wine. If she drinks from that, God dang it, she drank from the bottle. God, she does that shit to get my goat. You're muted. I can't hear you. You're muted. You can't even enjoy this moment because I can't hear you.
No one is drinking this but me. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it. It's fine.
It's
Why waste the glass? I don't want to waste a glass, wash a glass.
No, I can't breathe. It's CPR. This is natural CPR. So for those of you that are not, if you're not familiar with the show, hey, Texas, very good to see you, Texas Bluebonnets, and get to Ducking Point. So if you're not familiar with our show, we do drink on this show. We have been criticized for it. We have been hated about it. We've received inappropriate language about it. And here's the great thing about us.
I don't care either, Amber.
We are part of We Don't Care Club. And if you don't like it, scroll on, find another podcast, whatever. There's Amber.
I love you though. I love you.
She may love you, but I don't care. So I don't just love everybody. But no. So we curse on this show. We drink on this show. I don't think we get drunk on this show. I don't think anybody's been drunk on this show. If they have, they've covered it very well. But we are completely inconsistent with this damn show. We've got to get consistent because we do have a very loyal fan base who have been very patient with us. So we're going to hop into the subject tonight with, I don't know if Kathy's going to join us. I don't think Bronwyn's going to join us. And I know Carrie can't. She's got a sick grandkid at home. But tonight we're going to talk about child support because we talked about women's rights on our last show. And that yielded some really interesting comments. And so high-level overview of child support. I have an unpopular opinion of it. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's weaponized. And I think it's used I've seen it used as a control tactic, and I've seen it used inappropriately. I don't think there's a better way to take care of your kids. If you should want to financially step up and help take care of your children, no matter where they're living or what they're doing. That's as a parent who wants to be there, that's what you should do. If you don't want to be there, sign your rights away and let somebody else step in and do the job. Amber, what do you say?
I have a very similar opinion. When it comes to being a parent, if you signed up to be a parent when that child was born, you need to financially support it, no matter if the parents are together or apart. But I mean, like when I got divorced, I was a single mom for a long time. That extra money would have been really nice. However, through through our entire marriage, like my ex-husband, he was very, very controlling with absolutely everything. And so when we split up, what's funny is he actually asked me for child support, and I was like, no.
I know.
No, I can't.
Given what I know about him, that is so on par with him.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, I mean, I definitely put my foot down there and was like, absolutely not. But I actually advocated for no child support in our particular circumstance because even though the money would have been nice, I also knew that just because of his personality and how controlling he was, if he was writing me a check every month, he would have controlled every little bit of how I used that money and what I did with it. I mean, even just, using it on our son. I did not want to deal with that, you
Right.
know? And I thought, he just needs I was like, I'll take care of my son's financial needs when he's with me. You're going to take care take care of his, I can't talk, financial needs when he's with you. So there's really no need for us to be exchanging money here. Um, Especially when I knew how he would treat me if he was actually sending me money
Right.
on a regular basis. And so, yeah, so I asked the judge for absolutely no child support. They tried to talk me out of that. But I was like, no, but it's just not a tie. That was not a tie that I wanted to my ex-husband.
Agreed.
And so, yes, I mean,
Agreed.
I feel like everybody needs to do what's going to work best for them personally whenever they, go through a breakup and there's children involved. But yeah, for me, I wanted no part of that. So
Katie, what about you? You've been divorced once with kids. If depending on
Yeah.
Aaron, how well Aaron does, it might be twice with kids. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. Well, first of all, I'm in a bandana and a raggedy t-shirt, and I see Amber's in a super cute red shirt looking all fabulous. So thank you
Me,
for
and I have
that.
I'm doing my typical off the shoulder thing, but she looks like her typical Barbie self. Like this is
Yeah. And this
I
is
came from
typical
work.
me.
I don't
Like,
she wakes up this way. We've seen her. She wakes up looking, we wake up like trolls, and she wakes up looking like the flipping Barbie doll.
and
No,
then
I'm a troll. I just
I'm a
scurry to the
troll.
bathroom and try to put myself together before I see all y'all.
Yeah, in case you want to take her home for the second night.
anyway, I had to say that because I'm like, every time I see Amber, I'm dressed like fucking like a homeless person. And she is
By comparison, yes. By comparison, yes. In any other situation, no. She sets that bar to unachievable levels for the rest of us. That's what it is.
There are zero expectations.
That's a problem for us. We're like, fuck it. She's gonna look that
I
good. I'm just gonna
love
go around
all
this
of
way.
you, even if you look like a troll, and neither of you look like a troll. Let me just say, you're both
Okay, you know
looking
what?
adorable.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm getting off topic now. Sorry for that. But I am going to buy an outfit. And so the next time that we see each other, it's going to be not Katie, but it's going to be more towards like
Barbie.
Amber attire. Like, and
It
then
better
we'll
be glitter and
see.
sparkles and sequins. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's gonna have to
yeah,
be shiny from top
And
to
I'm going to
bottom.
wear a bandana and a
yeah.
t-shirt.
No,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you make that shit look cute. Don't, because then no. Just stay away from it. Just stay away.
Oh my gosh, it would be. Yeah. Anyway,
But
okay.
anyways,
Back
child
to the
support.
point. Amber's situation was very similar to mine, and I had a very controlling husband and wanted a divorce. He didn't want a divorce, but I didn't want like, I don't want your money, don't need your money. Because I don't want it held over my head. Even if I had, and I was okay, but even if I was like in dire straits, I would try to find a way to make it work because I don't want to depend on him.
Agreed.
Because he would hold it over me. It's still a shit show either way. But I was like, nope, don't want any child support, alimony. What's his is his. He can take that debt. I'll take this. And then my husband's situation was a little different, which caused a lot of friction between us. Because I'm complete opposite of his ex, and he paid a lot of child support and alimony, and we had many discussions about it. That I understand. It took me a while to understand and accept it. I guess like this money that I'm paying is worth it because it was that miserable for him, but it's still, as a woman, to like, it just, I couldn't. And then I found out that he was paying for another debt that I didn't even know about. And then that made me upset. Like, so I'm just like, why are you doing this? But in the end, it worked out okay. But it was definitely hard to work through that because I didn't agree with how it was on his end.
So Kathy just joined us, and I know she has some very strongly held opinions about this. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with Kathy's situation. Hi, Kathy.
Hi guys, sorry I was late.
I'm just happy you're here because I know
Yeah.
this is your area. So we were just going at the high level of our opinion of child support before we dig down into it. So high level speaking, where do you stand on child support, Amber? And it sounds like the three of us have that what I thought was an unpopular opinion. It's just not something we want to get into, not something that was needed. It would have been nice, but ultimately, if you want to step up as a parent, step up as a parent. Where do you stand? she laughs. Crap.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have very strong opinions. Yes, you're right about that. Me as an example of someone who pays child support, it's a really tough question. I am not opposed to child support in general. I think that this we live in a state of Kansas is one of the worst states for family law. So that right there is my complications with how I feel about it. I think that child support should be used in a way to help a child, not help the parent, and so to speak.
Okay.
I think child support in some cases is used as a retaliatory um, uh, weapon
Yeah, it's
against
weaponized.
against the other parent, um, and sometimes it's not. So, uh, for me personally, child support, from a perspective of paying child support to someone who doesn't need it and is and went after me for child support because they were retaliating against me for something else. Um, and I know for a fact that the child support isn't being used to help my child. I think child support is a complete and utter piece of bullshit.
So okay, so let's dig into that because you bring up a good point that the other three of us had not brought up because we were all paid child support.
Yeah.
You had to pay it, and I only know of a small handful of women who've had to pay it.
I wasn't paid any child support.
Oh, you were not paid any.
No, I wasn't paid anything,
Okay,
nor did I
was.
pay
Okay.
anything. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, okay, my misunderstanding. So Katie and Amber, no child support. I received it 4-1, got away no child support for my boys, but I get it for my daughter today. So and it's interesting, right? Because this gets controversial, I think. Are we supposed to monitor and assess, evaluate, judge, use whatever verb you want, the individual, the recipient of the child support? Are we supposed to monitor how they use it to ensure of how it's being used towards the child?
I think so. Here's my problem is, and I know that there's a lot of states. I don't know how other states work, but I know that they're probably pretty similar. But I don't agree with how they base child support off of income.
Agreed.
because the parent that makes more money is obviously going to be the one that pays the most child support, regardless of what the child's needs are. So I have a really big problem with how the state of Kansas, for example, has a bracket for higher income earners that has to pay the other parent that may not make as much money. And I think that for me, for an example, I'll just tell you guys, I pay $600 a month for my child, and that hurts me.
Okay, so
It hurts me because
I'm gonna stop you right there. That's it. I'm getting child support for one. You're paying child support for one, correct?
yep.
Okay, this is what's crazy. This is what's insanely crazy. I don't receive that much in child support at all. I don't receive anywhere near that for child support. I receive $80 a week.
Well, you have to remember the state of Kansas goes off your
Correct.
income.
However, but I'm responsible. So the way the state of Kansas did it is because I made more money than my ex did. I was
Mhm.
responsible for a little over 60% of her finances. And her father, who has to pay the money to me because I had custody majority, she spent more
Right.
majority of her time with me. He had to pay
Right.
me roughly 40, even though, like I said, I tried to get out of it. So I lied on all the paperwork because I didn't know how much he made. As
Well,
awful
there's
as
a
that sounds.
formula. There is just a formula
There
that,
is.
There's a
yeah.
formula,
So,
and
Yep.
it's based on your percentage of time that you share with a child, and then also your income comes into play. So for
True.
me personally, I've you all know this, I've tried to get more time with my son, um with little to no help from the mediator, and it was never financially driven. It was based on the wants of my child and me. And the mediator said this is how it's going to be. I had no say or no argument in how much time I get to spend with my
You had no
son.
advocate.
I
Nobody was
really don't, and I
advocating.
still don't. I'm still battling that today, as a matter of fact. When my son said, "Mom, I want more time with you. Can you please go talk to, can we go talk to her?" Yes, absolutely. This is second, third time that we've done this. We'll definitely try again. And I'm still 2 months later, waiting for some sort of response. And um, more time means less child support in the long run, but I'm not driven by that. I'm driven by, I want to spend more time with my son. But yay, if I get more time with you, then yeah, yay, I don't have to pay as much child support. I'll still have to pay something because I make more money than he does. And that's the end of it. I have no choice, but um, the calculation and the percentages that are out there based on Family Court of Kansas is completely and unfair to
Mhm.
it doesn't matter who's paying or who's receiving. It's just unfair. It's completely stupid how they
Agreed.
calculate that. I think there should be a set amount of money that the state says, okay, you're 16, here's what we think you should have, a 16-year-old needs financially every month, and both parents, regardless of income, are responsible to put in half of the needs for the child. But that's just not how it works.
Agreed.
So,
well, here's what I will say to that, because if you are, because I was not in a situation like you, Kathy, or like I'm surprised I was not. I'm surprised we didn't get into a bitter battle. But the formula said one thing, and I told my attorney, which my ex agreed to just use the same attorney because I forced it, and I said, nope, I don't agree with that. We're just going to do zero across the board. We're just going to, no child support, no alimony. He'll take his debts, I'll take mine, and then we'll move forward. And then that's how it was. But when you go to battle, then that's
right.
different story.
It
That's
is
the
a
thing,
different
right?
story.
Because
And
it's not everybody uses the formula in Kansas. Anyway, I don't know about other states, but I know other individuals who don't follow the formula. The wife soon to be ex-wife, and this is not the kind of woman that we all would sit down and chill out with, then that's just a hard, cold truth. I don't care if that offends people. Some women are just flippin' vindictive, and they use money to hurt the guy and to keep him from seeing the kids and to take as much money as they can from him. I know one individual that, divorce, I don't remember who filed, doesn't matter. She was a stay-at-home mother for most of the kids' life. And so alimony was up there, and then child support. And that is how she afforded to buy her home. She was unemployed, but she had a steady income of child support and alimony. And she's one of those women that refuses to get a good job, because if she made a certain threshold of income, the alimony disappeared. Or if she got married, alimony disappeared. And then
Erin was married to one of those women. I'll just say that.
Oh, see, that is cold-hearted. That's, what, the reason I divorced my first ex-husband was because I loved him enough to make sure he'd find somebody who could actually be good with him, be a good mix, because we were not. We were oil and water. And if we get along today, our son endured a stroke, and so we've done a great job being friends and getting along today. But back in the day at the romantic level, no, we are not good. The only two things we were good at was Austin and Aaron, our boys. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was just creating them. But I just needed him to live his life, go be happy. I love, 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 love his wife today. I want her to come on the show at some point, because she is a saint to put up with him, and she knows it. So, but that's the thing, is that some women batter and bruise a man so much during the divorce, the formula doesn't matter. And at that point, he's like, whatever it takes to pay her to shut her up, agree to it.
Yeah.
And that's wrong, because that's not about the kids at that point. It's about hurting somebody else. That's why I'm a big, just take it out the mix. Just take it out and do something different.
Well, that's exactly what I did in our divorce decree.
I know.
I said no child support, no nothing. I just want out as fast as I can. And he did not show up or contest anything in the motion for divorce at all. And so the court granted the speedy divorce that I put in. So after 60 days of him not showing up or responding to any of it, I was divorced very, very fast. And then I don't have to go into all the details. I think you all know what happened with my house, and um, where there was one stipulation in the court order that he didn't pay attention to. And then 2 years later, I filed a motion because he did not take care of that piece of that he was responsible for. And there is where the retaliation happened, because of the financial burden that he had because of his lack thereof. He's now going to come after me for child support. I knew it was going to happen, but it is what it is. So
Well, in the state of Kansas, for a woman to pay child support, for a woman to not have custody, it's getting a little easier, but it used to be a tough thing to get across. So he had to pull some nasty, shady shenanigans to get that done. And
he did.
And I
He
know who
did.
your ex is, and that would be a hard battle to
Yeah.
fight. Like, that takes a lot of energy and a lot of wine that does not get you drunk enough. I mean, there's
Yep.
just,
And you said for the woman or for the man on the other side, sometimes they just want to throw their hands up and give up and
Mhm.
say whatever I need to do to just get this over with. That's where I was.
Well, I think
And
Amber was in a
I
similar boat when her divorce, and there's some, like, Amber had in your divorce, Amber, you had a line in your divorce decree that literally said you couldn't live with the man regardless if he was your husband or not.
Oh, yeah, there were several things that he had put in that decree that were absolutely horrible, but um I also knew that I was never going to get away from that guy unless I
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
agreed, signed it, and walked away. I ended up taking him back to court later to get some changes
I
made, and
remember
that
that.
was quite the battle. But yeah, I mean, and I could totally see a man going, God, just give her what she wants so she'll go away, even if that
Yeah.
means that I'm
Mhm.
signing away half my paycheck.
And that's sad, though. That's like, why would, so I have a maternal instinct, and I don't know if that's the difference or not. I just wanted my boys to be happy. I wanted my daughter to be happy. I wanted my kids to be happy. They weren't coming from a broken home. They came from a couple of people who could not be in a relationship together. That is not a broken home. That's my opinion. You can have two parents that raise 4 kids, if you want to bring an example close to home for me, and raise them in such a fashion that none of them do well in life. They struggle with coping mechanisms and life skills and really getting their shit together. And that can be considered a broken home, in my opinion, even though both parents stay together. So the concept of the broken home, I won't even acknowledge that as an argument. But why would you, if you love your children and you want them to live a happy life despite not being with the other parent, why would you do that? I don't get that.
I know. I don't understand parents using their children just to get at the other person.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be involving the children at all in you
In
breaking up a
any
relationship.
fashion. If one parent cheated, that
No.
is none of your children's flipping business. That belongs
No.
between you and the other party. Keep the kids out of it. That's one thing that it's mostly been my boys' dad and I until we got to our agreeable level where he'd get sideways with me about something. I wouldn't run back to my boys and be like, your dad did this and I'm the innocent party and he's making me I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I just like, you know what? That's me between me and your dad, and let us figure it out. You go have your relationship with him. That's the appropriate thing to, even if they are evil, just because they're evil to you doesn't mean they're gonna be evil to your kids. And it's not like Lance was evil to me. We're oil and water. That's it. We're that we brought out the worst in each other, but he loved his boys. He suffered through enough crap and he had to go through enough shit to get to the point with his boys that, I mean, he struggled. That's all. He just flat out struggled. So it's like, man, you struggle enough. You want to be a dad? Be a dad. But to people like Amber's ex, I don't know Katie's ex at all, but I do know Kathy's ex.
Well, my ex is kind of like Kathy's ex, but not quite so on steroids, I guess.
Oh my God.
If I had to like put it that in a simple way.
Wow, that is I actually have a clear understanding of your ex now. Actually,
Yeah.
very clear.
He was very similar, just, not,
Wow,
yeah.
man, how did you? I just presumed you kicked his ass then at that rate. Like you could take him, Katie, easy.
Now I do want to fucking kick his ass. We won't get into that. Like, I seriously just want to punch him straight in his face. But
It's funny.
So you learn and go on. That's
true. So there's some cases out there that and I didn't do as much research as I wanted to tonight because I just wanted to get the show out there. I've seen some cases where, right, moms, whoever the child support recipient is, there's some states where you have to prove how you use that child support. I don't know that I agree with that. But also I don't want child support. My child support goes into a fund, and when Macy needs something like homecoming tickets, it comes out of that. She wants a homecoming dress or whatever. I mean, that money kind of builds up in there. And then if she wants to go out to lunch with her friends, that goes into there. Like it's almost like an allowance in some cases. In some cases, it's paying for school lunches. It's going to her. But there's been times where it's like, she and I are going out to lunch together. I'm like, we'll just use that card because I'm with her. And I never thought about like, that money comes to me and my job is to use it so that I didn't want it. So I guess I see it differently. But I have seen individuals who argue about getting facials or massages for themselves as the child support recipient because it's self-care. And if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the kids. And I've seen some interesting arguments to either side of that. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't think that the money should be policed, really,
Oh, nice way to put it.
But I think it's always situational when it comes to stuff like this. But like if somebody took that money and they did go get a facial, okay, well, let's look at the let's look at the situation as a whole. Is the child being taken care of? Is there a roof over their head? Are they loved? Are they fed? Do they have the things that they need? If they've got everything that they need, then that money technically has gone to the right place. It's just a matter of, you know, it got put into your account and you went and you did something nice for yourself.
Well, don't you do that
If
anyway?
you-
If you're even with that person, don't you use that money that
right.
way anyway?
That's what I'm saying is it's like if all of this money is going into one account and you're doing, you know, you maybe you do something for yourself, but you're also doing all these things for your kids, then that really shouldn't be anybody's business that you went and got a facial. You know what I mean? But now let's say, like in your situation, so you've got that money that goes into a separate account. If you were to take that card and go get yourself a pedicure, uh, okay, maybe because you know, but I also know that
Yeah.
you take very good care of your daughter. So if you went and got a pedicure, who
That's
cares?
if I'm getting one, she's getting. I mean, if she's getting one, I'm getting one. Like she doesn't do
Right,
that without me.
right,
But that
right.
if I
So
do that, it doesn't come out of that card. It comes out of my. I mean, like it's almost
right,
like her personal
yeah,
allowance. She has no idea what the balance is, and I'm not about to tell her because that would give her free reign to go do some shenanigans with that card.
yeah.
But to me, it's like, I always assume financial responsibility despite that stupid thing having money on it.
Well,
I
here's
just
what I will say real quick, because I understand, and that's a great way to handle that, by the way. Like, that is a great way to
Mhm.
handle that child support, and
Oh, it
that's the
is.
way
Yes.
it should be handled. But with
I needed a good compliment, Katie. Thank you. That made my day. That made me feel so much better. My world is complete today. Thank you.
but in my world, there was no child support or alimony. So it's like when it comes to bigger purchases, like a child's tuition that I was, and this is, I'm just throwing out stuff, but this is real stuff. Like,
Right.
hey, I paid X amount of money towards his tuition. And then can you pay the same? And he's like, well, I just paid for his new tires. Like, it's that back and forth
Right.
that causes an issue. And it's fine. Like, that's the way we dealt with it. It
Mhm.
doesn't make it okay or like equal or whatever, but that's the way we've dealt with it. And usually it's like okay, but there have been times where I just want to like, you son of a bitch, like seriously.
So what's funny about that is my divorce decree, with my second divorce, I had the residential custody or whatever it was, so I'm getting paid child support. But even though he was paying me, he still had to pay half of all of her expenses for school registration or sports or whatever. So everything was so despite I had to define like what her needs were at the time on that child support formula stupid worksheet thingy. But even then, I mean, I never went back to court. We've been divorced, God, for well over a decade now. I've never gone back to court. I was supposed to go back every 3 years. I'm like, I am not wasting money to go back to court and get more money that I didn't want to begin with. But I'm supposed to go back every 3 years to increase the child support because her needs increase. I'm like, or I could just, I mean, I pay for all her stuff. I don't ask her dad for hardly anything. When she's at her dad, she's like, I need new shoes. He'll be like, all right, let's go get new shoes. Like but she's only over there every other weekend ish. She's a
Oh,
teenager so
Kathy,
far.
do you have something to say to that? I want you to say something to that.
Oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So
No, it's just,
I
not.
know. I know what you're gonna say. Do it, Kathy.
I know.
I'm sorry to
No, no,
intervene.
you're
Sure.
fine because I forgot and yeah, go. Yep.
Okay. So our current agreement with my son's dad being residential custodian, having the 60% versus 40% time, it's written that I pay child support and that he is responsible for all of my son's day-to-day needs, from school to clothing to um, outings to haircuts, you name it.
I call shenanigans. That's not he's asking you for that money.
The only thing that I have to pay for outside of my monthly support obligation is 50% of medical expenses. So even though I also supply health insurance and dental insurance and vision insurance for my son, I also have to pay half of the outside expenses. So half of copays, half of things that insurance doesn't cover, what have you. The problem is, and I am at the point where I throw my hands up and say, you know what? I don't care anymore. I've got 3 more years. I'll just be broke until then. My son's needs aren't being taken care of with the money I'm paying my ex.
That would
I
infuriate me.
I get to pay for haircuts. I get to pay for clothes still. I get to pay for shoes. I get to pay for outings. I get to do all of the above, even though I'm paying for child support. Now, there are things that his dad will give him money for, but overall, I am still paying well over and above my monthly support obligation because he does not take care of our child as he's supposed to. So that's my opinion on that. I would rather my son be happy. Oh, I hear an echo. Hang on. Can you hear me?
You and you.
You and you.
Oh,
I have one device on.
And a
Okay.
ghostly echo.
Is it gone? It's
I think
gone.
it is.
Echo?
Okay. I don't know. I didn't do anything.
Oh my
So-
gosh, that was the weirdest thing.
Like I said, oh my God. What the heck?
It is Halloween coming up, so I don't
I was
know.
gonna say we
Does
I'm just
someone have a
saying.
phone on or a
Maybe
different
that's
device?
part of it.
Wow. What are you on, Kathy? Are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my phone because I am not home.
I don't know what's going on, but I feel like we need to whisper in case we upset the powers that be on your device.
Okay. So I will whisper. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you fine now.
I was saying that I'm tired of fighting the inevitable losing fight all the time. And so I just choose, instead of telling my son, sorry, I can't help you. You need to go to your dad. Sorry, I can't. Your dad gets paid child support for this reason. I mean, he's 16, he knows. Okay? Or 15, however old he is, I forget. So here's the oh my gosh. Here's the kicker. Dad told him when he got awarded child support, he flaunted it and told him, when I get this, I'm going to give you half of it every month to spend like you want. Has he seen $1 of it? No, not
with that
one. And I don't think he cares. Luke, sorry, I threw his name out there, only cares about promises that keep being broken.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, some of those promises are financially driven: clothes, school stuff, haircuts, things that he wants, things that he needs, whatever. It should be paid for with that child support money, and it's not
Well, I think
the majority of the time.
so that's typical, right? Where a parent flaunts the balance. I know that things are different now. Keep that in mind. But the boys' dad, he came from a divorced family, and his mother would flaunt. She saved every penny of the child support she received from the boys' dad and his brother. So the two boys, she received child support for years and years and years. I think the balance at the end of all that was $33,000. And so the one brother passed away, Operation Iraqi Freedom. And so the boys' dad, Lance, was all that was left. And she would hold it over his head. I will give you this money if you get rid of Tara. I will give you this money if you do this. It was child support money that should have been used for his college, if she had it at that point in time, or to buy a car since she had such a large, she didn't use it on the boys. She didn't use it at all
Yeah.
because she and her husband, the second husband, who she's also divorced from, they didn't need it. So they just used it and then tried to control the boys with it. And things are very different now, right? She's evolved and she's grown and all that great fun jazz. But to not take care, I don't know. It that irritates me to no end when you have somebody who's, this is where getting facials and getting manicures and getting McDonald's or whatever, but your kid's not getting a haircut, not getting supplies for school, not getting taken care of. That's where it's like, yeah, that's jacked up. That's not your money. That's your money to help your child.
Right.
And so, and I know that there has been that struggle there, and I know that individual that you were married to. I have a hard time calling him your ex because it's just, ugh, I still have to
Yeah,
deal with him.
there should, with the amount of money that I pay him every month, there should be no reason why Luke should not have what he needs.
Mm-mm.
Not even just what he
No.
needs, but what he wants. If he wants a new pair of jeans, buy him a new pair of jeans. You have the money to pay for it. Buy him some jewelry if he wants some jewelry. Buy him some shoes if he wants some shoes.
Yeah.
Now, I say that lightheartedly, knowing that you don't just spoil your kids with everything they want. I'm just throwing it out there as
Well,
a
enjoyable.
sarcastic example.
Yeah,
But
be enjoyable. But
yes, there should be no reason why he does not have the things that he wants and needs.
no,
Period.
none at all.
And that's where I feel guilty for him when he doesn't, and so I just go do it myself anyway, regardless if I pay him money or not. I
It's the
still
right
do
answer,
those
though.
things. With I still, when I first started, when the child support first came to play, my husband and I, now my husband now, and I had long conversations about it. And I put my foot down. I won't be able to afford this anymore. I won't be able to just go do things for him like I want to. You know what? I'm making it work out. I'm making it affordable. I'm doing what I can to support my kid. Um, because I know that if I don't, then deadbeat dad will not.
And you
And
know what? And he sees that.
I
That's
I
the great
know
thing about kids.
I know, and that's where I know in my heart that I can live with myself, knowing that when my son is an adult and is able to look back and see the things that I sacrificed for
Mhm.
him, he'll know that was my mom that
Right.
did that, not my dad. And
Yeah.
it's not a
Yep.
competition by any means.
No, it's
It's never about that.
experiences.
But
It's experiences.
it's experiences knowing that mom said she couldn't, but she always found a way to help, you know?
Yes.
So,
So let's take this down a different path that maybe none of us have any experience with, and we have to kind of whisper because Kathy's phone is possessed. I can still hear a little bit of shenanigans on the background. So I read a file or an article when we were actually preparing for this show when it was supposed to originally air about this woman who was looking for state aid. Right, she had a few kids, and the state that she lived in, I can't remember for certain, but to get the state aid, so a form of child support from the state, mind you, she had to do a DNA test to prove her kids were hers. I don't know all the background to that. Okay, so she did a DNA test, and one of the kids came back as not hers. No DNA attachment at all. And she's like, nope, that kid definitely came from my body. I watched it shoot through my loins into the doctor's hands. Like it's mine. And the state was like, not according to a DNA, it's not. And so they were denying her the funding she needed to get a better, because she was trying to do better for herself, but she needed a little assistance. And so now, if we stop the story there and continue on the conversation, right, we can go, but I'll just tell you the rest of the story. She actually had a rare genetic crazy thing where, yes, the child was hers, but she had two sets of DNA because she had a twin that her body had kind of absorbed type of situation. So it's not an identical twin. It was more like the fraternal. Apparently, in the survival of the fittest in the womb, she won and absorbed her twin person, and her child got that DNA. which, so they proved it all later on, right? But when the state is providing child support in the form of food stamps, Medicaid, what have you, because that is a form of child support, regardless of how you look at it, because they'll go after the other person, the other DNA donor, call it, whether it's mom or dad, to get repayment back to the state. The state will do that. Should you have to prove, and there's been a couple of situations out there I've heard of, I don't know firsthand, but I've read where mom and dad divorced, mom and dad split, and one of the parents is, the dad is like, I need a DNA test to prove that's mine. I mean, I've treated it like it's mine for 6 years, but now I want a DNA test because you want money. Is that applicable?
Did
I
they
think
raise that child?
Let's say they've
Have
been
they
together for
acted
6 years.
as its father during that entire time? I
Let's say
mean,
yes, and they just the parental units, the romantic thing dissipated, and now dad's being a shithead and saying, yeah, it can't be mine. I don't care if we're married or not. I want a DNA test because maybe she cheated, maybe he's just being a dick, whatever. But he's now requiring a DNA test after fathering this little person for 3 years, 6 years, 12 years, what have you. Take a pick. Doesn't matter.
I think that's bullshit, and this is why. Because
Shit, I'm gonna bring my
people
glass.
people can get child support for stepchildren simply because a father stepped up and acted as their father.
Are you kidding
during
me?
the time that they were married? Yes.
A stepfather pays
So-
child support
Yeah.
in Oklahoma?
Now, I couldn't tell you Oklahoma laws or like that. I
But
have
you
no
know a
idea.
step parent that
But-
paid child support.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is they agreed to because they had raised those children as their own during, for like so many years during a marriage, and so they agreed to, because I mean, they weren't blood related to these children, but it was their kids, raised them
Yeah.
from babies, essentially, even though they were not the father. So so if somebody just all of a sudden is up and like, well, let me find out if I'm actually DNA related to this child. Well, for the past 6 years, sir, did you raise this kid as your son? Like,
Holy crow. What
then
a form of
your
accountability.
what's that?
What a form of accountability.
I see Amber's
Mhm.
point to that, but I don't think the court sees it that way when they're going after somebody for child support. Like if somebody is a step
Sure.
parent and is agreeing, hey,
mean-
yeah, I acted as the father, I want to still continue to take care of this child.
Oh yeah,
That's
absolutely.
different than somebody being a step parent to a child for 6 years and then the court saying or him fighting that because he doesn't think that he's really the father, even if the both parents know that he's not the father or she's the real mother. The court is not looking at that. They're looking at who is blood related and that person is responsible. I've never heard of a case that the court goes after the step parent.
Well, but Amber said that the
Oh,
step
yeah.
parent agreed to it.
That's
Right, yeah. They didn't go
yes.
after the step parent.
Yes.
It was
But wouldn't that be crazy though?
just-
If you would that not add value and make you think if you stepped up? So let's use Jim as an example. He has
Mhm.
stepped up for Macy on multiple occasions. He became a part of Macy's life when she was 6. She's 15 now. Wouldn't that be crazy if, he was in, let's say she had no other father, right? Let's just say her dad was completely absent, completely gone, walked out, gone, whatever, no child support, no nothing. Wouldn't it be an interesting turn of events? And wouldn't that put a different valuation on women's rights, right? This is going to go hand in hand. Bear with me. If a father, there was the Irish goodbye. Katie's gone.
Bye, Katie.
And I don't see the she didn't do her, maybe she'll come back, whatever. But doesn't that change things, right? Because as women, that kid is ours. It came from our body. There's witnesses. There's no denying that, right? But with the guys, they have a deniability factor until there's a DNA test done. But you get the knight in shining armor who comes in and says, I will take care of this kid. And Macy's dad essentially did do that with his first daughter, right? There's a story behind that that'll come in another shenanigans. And so he was put on the birth certificate, but isn't that something to think about? If somebody steps up and does the ethical, moral thing for a child, and then something doesn't work out with mom, yeah, there's Katie, she came back. And
I have to
the
drop.
court is like,
Sorry.
are you dropping for good, or just did you drop and come back?
I don't know why I dropped.
Oh, because I figured as much because you didn't. There was no comment. I'm like, well, she Irish goodbye without Irish goodbying, so you're good, no problem. But wouldn't that be an interesting way of accountability, of holding a guy accountable? Says, I will step up. Okay, mom and I are getting along, but I love this kid, and the court was like, well, since you love it, and since you're owning it as yours, we're going to hold you accountable because there's no other guy to hold accountable.
Yeah, that's ethically wrong, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah. I
So
don't think a person that is not a biological related person or parent, I don't think a court should ever hold that person accountable.
But what if they want to be?
Oh,
If they,
I
if
don't,
they,
I don't either.
Then
But
that's
they
their
have to
choice
want
outside
to.
of a court agreement. That the court has no
Okay.
right to hold somebody accountable that's
Okay,
not
so
an actual parent.
I get that, but devil's advocate here, then why are we holding men that, regardless of their intention with sex, right? Let's take the criminality out of it. If guys are having sex with a woman, he gets her pregnant, not realizing she's fertile, because guys don't always know. Guys never know. That's our job. And she's like, hey, by the way, that one night of fun wound up in a kid. And he's like, no, I'm not interested. I had sex with you. That's all I wanted. You were a one night stand material. That was it. And he wants zero to do. Why are we holding him accountable if he
made the choice to have sex and he got her pregnant? He's accountable.
where's her accountability?
Same. She has to pay. She has to pay for it too.
Yeah.
Not if women are being vindictive. Not if women are being vindictive and using that as women are trapping men.
Well,
It can
yes,
go either or, actually.
I see your point. I see your point. I see your point. However, that person, those two people consented to something that resulted in a child, and they're both responsible for that choice.
Okay.
So in the court of law, if the father wants nothing to do with the child, that's a choice, but he's still financially responsible.
Okay, so let me throw a wrench in that one.
Unless he signs his rights away.
Hold on, let me throw a wrench in
True.
that. Let's say he used a condom and or she claimed to be on birth control. Let's say
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
Bullshit. Yeah, because if I lie, if a woman lies and says, yes, I'm on birth control, and he's like, cool, great.
Well, maybe she lied, maybe she didn't. I don't know. Like, you can say everything you want all day long, but at the end, there's a baby. So,
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's why I'm very.
That's the chance you take.
Man, you guys need to stop being whores out there. You guys got to stop being whores out there. Yes, need to start being. There's threesomes with 3 people, twosomes with 2 people, and then there's handsome. Start being handsome. That's
So
just.
I have another scenario that is kind of a different, that I know of a person that the mother could not, quote, take care of, unquote, of her children, and left the children in the care of the sister, and has no intention, does not want to parent those children, does not want them back, wants to be their mom, but doesn't want to be their mom. She doesn't want the financial responsibility. So the sister took the mother to court, and the sister was awarded child support from the mother because she purposely left the children in the care of the aunt and did not want to be responsible for those children, wanted the sister to take care of them, and the sister agreed, but the biological mother never helped financially contribute toward the care of the children. And the court awarded the
How is that
sister
different
child support.
How's that different from a step parent?
Because the mother is saying, I don't want my kids.
Right.
My sister has agreed to take care of my kids. I don't want them.
Right.
The sister's not adopting them. She's just helping take care of them. And so she needs help. So the court said, Mom, we don't care if you don't want to take care of your kids. You're making your sister do it and she needs help. So you're going to have to pay her child support to do that.
Yeah,
So that's a different
as you
situation.
should.
So then why not just so let's say a woman like that sounds like she needs her parental rights stripped of her.
Exactly.
So why not just strip a person? I mean, we do that all the time. There's a
I-
lot of folks who have
yeah, I don't
lost
know.
the parental rights and these kids are adopted out and there's no support provided to these families.
I don't know. I don't know the answers to that on this specific
That's interesting.
story.
That is
Yeah.
a weird situation.
Yeah.
That is so weird. I've never heard of such a thing. How at that point I would just fight for custody, I would think. Full custody, adopt. Like screw you, sis. If you can't take care of your kids,
Yeah.
sign them over to me.
She's legal
But
guardian. Legal
well,
guardian.
but I would be the one too that sign them over to me. Let me have legal rights and legal decision making rights, and you can see them when you want. Just let
Yeah.
me, because again, I don't want child support. I don't want
Yeah.
to deal with money. Is a stupid thing to fight over. It's a stupid, stupid thing to fight over. There's all kinds of ways, and this is coming from somebody who started off with my first divorce, making minimum wage, barely getting 40 hours a week, no child support, 2 kids, and I made it work. You have to cut corners. You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to find a way and drive yourself to get to the next level somehow. I think that's what irritates me about child support. I think a lot of people see it as a free highway to easy street.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of women that do that. I know a lot of women who take advantage of the state when it comes to child support. One woman refused to take promotions in her job because she said if I took a promotion at my job, I'd actually make less than what the state gives me. And it's like, have you no integrity? Do you not have any pride or shame or like how do you explain that to your kid?
Some people don't. I know that
Well,
my ex threatened, which he couldn't do this, but when he threatened child support on me, when all of the house stuff was going on, he said, well, I can make it look like I don't make any money because I'm self-employed. And I found out that, yeah, he can try, but the state always has ways to find out how much money you're
Oh,
actually.
yeah, they do.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
they
So
do.
he can attempt to lie all he wants, but
Yeah.
it's not going to work. So when I did see the income that he presented, I knew that not all of it was there. Like
Correct.
I used to do the taxes for this man, so I know what to look for. And yeah, he might have been a little deceptive, but I think for the majority of it, it was all there. So anyway,
Man.
people do lie and they are deceptive. It's not just women, Tara, it's men too.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
However, statistics point the light on women because most women have their children.
Yeah, I
Most women,
understand.
yeah.
They're
But I
usually
agree
the
with
ones
you.
getting the child support. So
I do agree with you, Kathy. I know a handful of women. There's another one in mind. I wish I had reached out to for this podcast because she's very loud on Facebook, not in a bad way, but she's got a backbone to her. And
Good.
she learned to get that backbone because during her divorce from her high school sweetheart, 4 kids, marriage and all that great fun jazz, she wasn't sure. She didn't understand divorce proceedings. She didn't know what it meant to show up in court and do all that. And for some dumbass reason, she asked the soon to be ex husband, should I show up in court for this thing or what do I do? Because she was not represented. And he's like,
Um,
and he was represented. He's like, no, you don't need to show up. Of course not. He fully knew if she
what
didn't
he was
show up.
doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
completely played her and manipulated her because she wasn't stupid. She was ignorant. She knows better now, right? She did pay child support for 4 children over the course of many years.
That's a
And
lot.
yep, 4 children, state of Kansas. and no, lost custody, the whole gambit. Like, it made her look, because she didn't show up, it made her look like an absent mother. Her ex-husband was able to tell whatever story he wanted, and she was not there to defend herself. And she lost badly, and it caused so many issues for her. And a couple of her kids are grown now, right? So it's been several years, and she's got some other struggles she's dealt with, but she's always been consistent. It's the thing I like about her. She's completely consistent. So everything she was back then, she is today, with some growth and maturity. But she's one of those that, because she trusted the wrong person, she got screwed. It wasn't, okay, I throw my hands up. It was, I don't know any better. I don't have the money to defend myself. What am I supposed to do? And that's so wrong. If you're going to divorce somebody, divorce them because you're divorcing them. Don't use the kids as fucking weapons.
Yeah.
But that's not what you have. If that's what you're having kids for, you should lose your rights to kids. That's not what it's about. There's the Irish goodbye, because I see the private chat. That was the real one. So I think we could go on forever like this, and I want to do this is one of those conversations I want to come back to and bring a few more individuals with different experiences on this one. But in the meantime, we're at an hour. I try to keep these things to an hour so people will come back and come see us. However, real quick, just for funsies, put you guys on the spot, just because sometime if we ever become consistent and successful at this, I want sponsors. So give me right. Give me your favorite product you're using right now. Kathy, go.
Oh my God, you are putting me on the spot. My
I
favorite
know. This is the great thing. We're going to get sponsors this way.
my favorite product I'm using.
Yes, favorite product you're using right
Oh,
now.
like from anything? Like
I don't care. Pick it. It could be a vibrator. It could be headphones. It could be your favorite Starbucks beverage. Whatever. Pick it. I don't care.
My favorite
I
product.
mean, we will do favorite vibrators on a shenanigans at some point, but go with what you want.
We should.
Let me
That's where we
see.
can add in my video.
You know, I'm using I used to have bad skin, not bad skin, but I used to have adult acne really bad. And over the last couple of years, I've started using La Roche-Posay.
Oh,
And
you? I've seen things
yes,
about that.
I
and
like the Roche-Posay.
I swear by it. My face, I don't have any bad.
Oh, your skin on your face is beautiful. You've got a great
thank you.
complexion.
So is yours, Tara.
Oh,
So is
thank you.
yours. But yes, La Roche-Posay products, just their facial cleanser, which is not expensive, and I use their mattifying moisturizer. Perfect. I love it.
Nice. La Roche-Posay. I'd love that, because
Yes.
I've seen a lot of it. So I'm glad somebody knows about it. Amber.
Yes.
And they're priced very well too.
They
I like
are.
that.
They
Yeah.
are.
Oh gosh, my favorite product that I'm using right now.
Right now. And keep in mind, you are a shop owner.
So-
You're a salon owner.
Well,
Might
I
be a
mean,
shameless plug time.
honestly, like the first thing that I thought of was Amika, because
That's what you told me about for my hair, right?
yes. Well, we talked about the Mill Bond treatment.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, which is something a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, my hair feels and smells amazing. All because I started using Amika products. Like, we use it pretty much exclusively at the salon. But I'll find, like, my favorite little things. I'll take them home, start using them. And man, I tell you what, like, even just when it comes to just like styling on a daily basis, like I have done nothing but run a brush through my hair in the morning for 3 days. I have not used heat styling on my hair, and it
Wow.
just, like, it feels good, it smells good, it's soft. Like, my hair has never been this soft, because I have really coarse hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's really the only thing that I've changed with my hair, is I started
Amazing.
using Amika, and
I want to
just
try
feels
that.
amazing.
I want to try that, because my hair has
Yeah.
changed with Austin's situation. My hair used to be very
Mhm.
thin, fine corn silk, like the doll hair. That's what I had, that very silky. So I need to, that's it. You've mentioned that a few times. So I'll
Yeah.
have to try that. That's awesome.
I'll have to send you home with some little, like, testers to kind of try some things out and see what you like.
My
Yes.
stepson uses Amika for the purple bottle for blonde.
Yeah.
Because he got blonde highlights and he
Mhm.
loves it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
have to look
I've
into
been
that one.
using the purple conditioner like every other wash, and my blonde stays bright. Hasn't been brassy at all. Just
Help me with
amazing.
the red then, because we finally started dyeing red again. We got back into dyeing. Finally, I had to have a professional do it because I don't know what to do with my hair.
As you should. Don't dye your hair at home.
I dye my
I
hair
used to.
every
I
6
used
weeks.
to. Yeah, I used to. But after the stress from Austin, like
Mhm.
my hair was straight, flat, corn silk, and now it's texture and matte and wavy. You guys saw the picture. That's just
Yeah.
for me wetting it down and shaking it out, and it never did that before, and now it does it. So it's like
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. But
I think
uh,
you'll learn to love it,
I'm
especially with that
I will.
texture in there, because it'll hold curl now.
I will eventually, as soon as we let it grow.
She's
Yeah.
not too sure about this curly hair thing.
Not really.
We're
No,
gonna make
no.
her. We're gonna
Which
make
is
her be
why,
sure about it. She's
which
gonna
is why,
love it at the end.
which is why my favorite product is not a hair care product because I have not figured this shit out. My favorite product are my lashes, and so I wear very little makeup anymore. I'm in my 40s. I did think about that for a second, like my 40s or 50s or 30s. Where am I?
Hold
I'm
the
in my
mic.
40s. I'm nearing the latter half of my 40s. And thanks to Amber, I got into lashes several years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And somebody's doing a thumbs. Oh, that's me. It did that. Okay, that's
Oh,
weird. I did a thumbs up apparently, and it
how'd you get it to do
responded to
it?
me. I don't know. It did it. Never mind.
Did it
At
for me.
any rate,
Yeah.
so I like minimal makeup. I used to do full glam face, and I have been doing lashes for a while now. Started with one brand, and I've been using Lilac Street for several years, and I love them. They're light, they're airy, they're thin. I just use the originals. I have the same thing I've been wearing for 5, 6 years now. Absolutely love them. Can't tell I'm wearing them. Absolutely
How
love
do
'em.
you apply them? Are they clusters or are they a strip?
No, they're clusters. I can't wear strips. The strips are too long for my eye, and when you cut them, they
Okay.
look weird and retarded. So, sorry for the R word because I know my cousin will be watching and bitch me out later. So, um, so I like the clusters, and I wear six clusters, six sections, and I
Okay.
don't go very long. I get a lot of compliments on my lashes that how they look natural, and it looks like I'm wearing mascara, and they're like, "What mascara do you use?" I'm like, "I don't. They're clusters. They're lashes."
Well,
So
I
I
should
really
have.
adore them.
So Kylie, that's her
I know she does
favorite
lashes.
thing. She does
Mhm.
lashes. Um, and she used to do mine until she didn't because once my lashes started like breaking from the
Yes,
Yeah.
floppies.
That's what happens
extensions.
with mine too, which is
Yeah,
why I moved to the clusters, because
So
like, yeah,
the
my
I
clusters are
did the
eyelashes fall out.
safer.
I did the clusters while my lashes grew out, but then a friend of mine down in Florida, when Eric and I went to Florida, sorry, I should have said this is my favorite product. So can I have a second one?
You can have a second
Of
Um,
one.
course.
so now that my lashes are back to normal, so to speak, and I used a little bit of eyelash growth serum that worked. I think it worked a little bit. But my friend down in Florida opened her drawer in her newly remodeled bathroom, and it was all um, oh my gosh, what's the name of it now? I drew a blank.
Is it a lash?
Um, no, crap. What is it? I drew a blank, guys.
We don't know what is it like makeup or
Yes, it's a makeup line, and you can only get it online. Anyway, it's a
is it the green
tubing.
packaging?
It's yes. What is that?
Oh,
Oh,
Thrive?
uh,
Thrive. Yes, it's
Thrive.
Thrive
Yeah.
Yes,
Cosmetics.
I love Thrive.
You
So
guys do? I've
she
been
gave
looking at
me
Yes.
Thrive.
she gave me
But
her
that's the only mascara I'll wear if I'm wearing mascara.
okay, so she opened her drawer
It's tubing mascara,
full
right?
of all,
Yep.
yes, full of Thrive. And she goes, here, you will not regret using this mascara. And I tell you what, I don't. It is
See,
really, really good.
Mhm.
I don't have the lashes
You
for
don't
that.
need to have the lashes for it. That's
Oh, for
that's how
tubing
it
mascara,
works.
I use tubing on my lower level just to balance out that's all I do it for. And I have to be careful because I've got again thin, fine, slick, oily lashes, so it'll come off if I'm not careful.
Okay.
That's why I use the glue, the sections because I use the double glue. I use there's for the lashes that I use, there's white glue bonder. Sorry, it's bonder. The white
Bonder.
bonder and the black bonder. It's glue. and I have to use them both so I can get the time frame that I needed out of them. And if they get wet, they're fine, type of thing. But my daughter uses the tubing mascara, and but she has thick, full lashes anyway. She just wanted a little bit of length to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably won't go back to falsies again now that I use this mascara.
That's
I like it that
awesome.
much. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
Thrive Cosmetics, guys, look into it.
Yeah.
So for
They're
all of
good.
you sponsors out there, we have just given you a free PR. You're welcome. Now help a bitch out. Just saying.
If
No
All
you
right, so
can
kidding.
tag them on this video.
Oh
then,
yeah,
you
we'll
know.
have to do that. So we've talked about the women's rights. We've talked about the women's rights was a whole, all big, overreaching area. We've talked about child support. We've talked about all kinds of stuff. Give me something for next Thursday, because we have to do shows on Thursdays because our work schedules suck. But so next week, what do we want to talk about?
The
What is
holidays are
out?
coming up, so do we want to do something holiday related?
Yeah, I want to do a Halloween one. We did something with Terry last year. Remember, she was our medium. So let's find a medium or
That would be
something.
fun.
Let's bring
Or
Terry
we
back.
could
I'll
tell our own
contact
ghost
Terry.
stories.
I'll bring Terry back. And if nothing else, I do know a ghost hunter. It's a dude, but it's not like it's going to hurt anything. He's totally cool. And he has his own podcast. So whatever. He's got some really cool stories that
Maybe he can
Love
give us
it.
an opinion on the dolls that Katie has.
I hate those damn
We need to have the
things.
dolls on the podcast.
Yes, we do.
No!
Yes.
Yes, and then
Me and
I'll turn
Kathy, we
on
were
I'll turn on GhostTube, and our GhostTube friend can add things for us.
Yes,
damn it,
yes.
man.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
okay. You know what? Fine. We'll do the blood forsaken dolls. And I see that. Hate those dolls. All right. We'll
They
do
might have something really good to say.
oh yeah, I'm sure they do. Turn on your little ghost tubey thingy and we'll find out. Okay,
Yeah,
so if not this coming week from today, 2 weeks from today, we will get Terry back on here. Or no, Jason. We'll bring Jason on here because I'm sure he'll be available. And we'll do a Halloweeny thing. If we have to do a few weeks worth of Halloweeny things to get through it, that's fine. Because I think it'd be fun, except for those godforsaken dolls. Those are evil. They're evil. They're flat out
So
evil.
just really quick, and I don't want to put a damper on the podcast and or when I can and can't come on. I have a new role with my job that
Oh,
I'm gearing up for, and I have to do some continuing education and get certifications, and I don't know what night it's going to fall on yet. Like I don't know what my schedule looks like, but I
you
will
just
let
let me
you
know.
know.
We'll work around
I
it.
will. I will let you know.
Just for funsies, if you guys can see the chat, and I see you, son. My son Austin is in the chat. I don't know if he's been
Oh,
watching
hey,
us.
Austin.
This
Oh,
is
hey, Austin.
so for those of you that are listening, either right now or later on, my son. This is an amazing human being. He endured the stroke back in April. And I say endured because he's doing amazing things. He's walking, he's opened his hand, he's hit all those milestones. So to see him on here tonight makes me a very happy mom that he's on here supporting us. And he even made a comment, and he knew I would say something. So this individual went from being completely incapacitated on day one, and then within a few weeks he was walking. I mean, he just is an amazing human being. I've been blown away by him. He's a fucking little ninja, though. He got down the staircase today, and I had no clue he was down here until he showed up. And I turned around, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, what are you doing down here? Like, it's like, it's too dangerous for you to go down the stairs. Like, I'm over mothering him now. So I'm glad to see him on here and that other people can show him support because he's just phenomenal. I'm so proud of that kid. So I'm glad he commented on here.
What'd he say?
He said, I don't want to say, what did he say? I don't want to say boo, but boo, because we were talking about the Halloween stuff. We'll have to have him on here for the Halloween. I've told him he needs to come on here and come on the show and talk about his experience because his speech has gotten so good. And he's gotten funny with he was funny before, but now he's even more funny. He'll start talking and his words try to come out at like speed 2000 RPM, but his mouth is like, oh my God, blah. And he's like, okay, start over. And it's kind of funny. It just cracks me up. But shut up, Cash. I'm not a helicopter parent that much, except
Much.
daily. It's not as bad as it sounds. I'm just hovering a little bit. But so, hello, Austin. I'm glad you're here.
Well, when Austin is ready, I think that would be a fun show to do. He
It
could
would
talk
be.
about his experience from his side.
Yeah.
And his crazy parents.
His crazy parents.
Because we went from, barely never getting along to barely getting along to he sees us hugging. He's like, oh shit, things are bad. If mom and dad are hugging, this can't be good. Like things are totally bad. So I don't even know how he knew we were doing this tonight. That's funny because it's not like I sent him the invite to come on the show, and that made me happy. Katie made me happy. Austin made me happy. It's a happy night. Except for Kathy's phone. It's possessed as all get out. So
Hey,
Yes.
I think it's better, don't you?
as long as I
Oh,
don't get
it's good
Friday.
now.
Yeah, it was really weird and creepy and Ouija boardy earlier.
Maybe it was a ghost.
We'll find out. I'll talk to Jason tonight when we'll do a ghost show, and maybe we'll do a couple of them for Halloween specials. And because we can talk, we can actually pull Carrie in and do true crime Halloween style stuff on here. And
That would be fun.
because we could
Yeah,
talk
that would
about what Lizzie Borden and other women who have done crazy shit against men. We could take girl world problems to that level. It'd be fun.
Mhm.
That's probably not the right word. Fun. Interesting? Maybe interesting. Perhaps
Sounds fun to me.
All right, ladies, thank you for being here tonight. For those of you that are in the chat, Cash, and I saw True Crime Unleashed, and I hadn't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you. I saw Patrick. Patrick, I didn't say anything to you when you first got it on because we were in the middle of a conversation, but I'm glad you're here, and I'm hitting my microphone. I saw Get to Ducking Point and Texas Bluebonnets. If I missed you, I'm sorry I missed you, but thank you guys for being here. If you're watching the replay, be sure to comment. I think I'm supposed to say like, subscribe, all that jazz, whatever. To the sponsors who aren't sponsoring, you're welcome for the free PR. And we will see you guys next Thursday. Hopefully we'll have intros and
Bye.
outros. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Drink well and be safe.